You guys had withdrawals last week from not having the weekly press conference. Anyways, we're back in action. It's a good week to really truthfully get a little bit of a rest, re-energize more than anything. Hopefully get some guys back healthy, but we're excited to be back in game week. Looking forward to another opportunity. We got conference play on the road, playing a Charleston Southern team that, our record against them is 1-2 right now. Last time we went down there, we had a chance to win a share of the Big South, and we didn't get it done. They whipped our tails, and so it's a big challenge for us. Again, we're going to go on the road in the conference, and play a really good Charleston Southern football team that we hadn't had a lot of success against. So it's a great challenge. Our kids understand it, and our goal is to continue to get better each and every week with what we're doing, to continue to work on all three phases, playing it at our standard, and we'll continue to work on that and build up to this week, and hopefully we can go out and play our best brand of football. I'll open the floor for questions.
Having cleared some of the hurdles that you did last year, including these guys and a couple of more years of maturity, how different is your team going down there this time than they were a couple of years ago, where there was so much on the line and it was kind of uncharted territory?
Well, I think anytime you have to go through something, and sometimes, truthfully, a year ago was a year ago, 2 years ago was 2 years ago. But sometimes you have to fail to succeed, and sometimes you have to go through things to figure out how to do them correctly. And I think a little piece of that goes with all of it, the good and the bad and the ugly and everything that happens. So I think, you learn from the things you do well, and you learn from the mistakes, and you learn how to handle different situations. And hopefully we can be a mature football team on going on the road to play anybody. Hopefully we can handle it. And as I talked to them a lot about after our last game, about creating their own energy and bringing their own energy, and don't depend on anybody else. Just depend on that group of guys in that locker room to go get done what we want to get done.
Some of your receivers, the guys that have been pressed into service to play more, Xavier missed a game, Justin's missed a couple of games. It seems like the downfield blocks and the things that are really the critical elements of that job, more so than catching the ball, they've done a pretty good job with. Can you talk about the progress of that group a little bit?
Yeah, it's we've had some guys come along. KJ Hancock, who transferred in, has done some good things. Caleb O'Neal was really a quarterback, and one day I said, hey, we need some help at wideout. There's some guys hurt, and he goes over there, and it means so much to him to be a part of the team and to do what's best for the team that he's worked himself into playing time. And he's done some good things. And you got old Jordan Walker, who's been here forever. And Gordon Gray, who's been here forever as well, that both have been banged up. But I think those guys take pride in, and going out and executing blocks, to help our team and offense be successful. In the Gardner-Webb game, you saw KJ on I think it was Darnell's touchdown run. He had a pancake block about 25 yards down the field. And so those guys have done a good job taking pride in their role, whatever's asked of them to do. And hopefully we can get everybody back healthy, and you got a good group out there playing that's gained a little experience.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, talking about hoping everybody comes back healthy. Where are we at this point now, having the week off? Are we back to 100%?
No, we're not 100%. We're better than we were. It's just one of those years. It doesn't matter if it's the weekend or an open week. Stuff seems to happen. But we're better than we've been. I'd have to go through the list, John. If there's anybody in particular, I'll be glad to communicate. But, I think we'll be close for the guys that play, with the exception of a couple guys may be questionable, that we should be closer to full capacity than we've been in a while. Obviously, the break helps, get some guys healthy. But we're not there yet, but we're getting closer. Yeah, he's practicing this week. Should be able to play Saturday.
Anything else? This is obviously the stretch run of the season now, and of course it's conference play, and you look down the road and you have the looming SunTrust Park game. But all these games, and I know you always focus on the one that's right in front of you, today's practice, tomorrow's practice, but can you just speak to the importance of what all these games mean? Because ultimately, in the end, you are playing to be one of those seeded teams when they build the playoffs and put it all together.
Sure, and I think the best way to do that is take it one day at a time, one practice at a time, 1 week at a time. Never look ahead of yourself. Don't, you know what I mean? When you get caught up in all that stuff is when you lose sight of what you're trying to accomplish on a daily basis. Our kids understand that. We've talked about it from day one. We don't have to have conversations about it. I know what's swirling around, but our job is to focus on having a great practice today in preparation to go play our best football game on Saturday. And if our kids can learn how to do that, then you don't get caught up in all the other stuff. And as I've always told them, at the beginning we talk about our end goals, and then we just understand what the process is to get there. And we got to stay within the process, and that's the day-to-day grind of being the best football player and football team we can be. And if we can do that, you don't get caught up in all the stuff that really, right now, we control what we control. And I think that's really the best way to approach this stuff. And so far, our kids have done a good job of that. We'll have to continue to do it and not get caught up in other things. And I think that goes back a little bit to your previous question, Brian, just about how sometimes going through different experiences teaches you how to handle things better moving forward. And I think some of our experiences, good and bad, have helped us grow a little bit as a football program and learn how to manage some of that stuff. And it's always, there's always different things going on that you got to deal with. But we've really focused here, and we've always been this way, on the task at hand, the day at hand. There's a win the day motto up and down our building. Just take care of the moment, take care of the task at hand, be the best you can be at what you do, and we'll let the rest of it play itself out.
How are we doing on the 4-game redshirt thing? Any more decisions been made as far as who's playing, or are we still trying to hold out?
It's pretty much what it was last time we talked, John. We got a couple guys on offensive line. I talked a little bit about Zion and Chris Dye that we've kind of hung on to a little bit, just from a depth standpoint. You get late in the year and you lose some guys, and you've used up all those 4 games, and you don't have anybody left to play. So there's some guys we've hung on to a little bit, but pretty much the guys that I had talked about that were going to play or have played, and they're not really they're not redshirt anymore, which I think there's like 4 or 5 kids. And outside of that, unless something happens, we're going to try to redshirt everybody else using that 4-game, hopefully the best we can, moving forward. And it's a week to week. We talk about, there's certain kids that we discuss every week just about how we want to handle it. And a lot of them are practicing as if they're going to play. And then you just wait and see how the game unfolds, where we are, what we need to do. And especially offensive line, it's just been all year, with the moving parts of guys being hurt and trying to plug guys in and the different things going on, that we've had to maneuver that a little bit. But we're getting at a better place. I think we have a pretty good plan for where we are, and we'll just deal with it week to week from now. But it's pretty much what I talked about last time. It really hasn't changed a lot.
In collegiate athletics, a lot of times you have a president that is, doesn't really care all that much about athletics, and it's all about academics. How refreshing is it to have a president that says, "Oh no, I want to dominate"?
Yeah. Well, I think it's awesome. I tell you, what she's done in the amount of students she's touched in a short period of time is unreal. I mean, she's out at band practice one day, soccer practice the next day. She's at football practice one day. She's throwing hot dogs in the stands. I mean, she's everywhere, and I think at the end of the day, students are important to President Whitten. And, we have student athletes here. And I think athletics being successful is important to President Whitten. And her support has been unbelievable. I mean, heck, she drove up to the Gardner-Webb game. She's she loves the students here. She loves the student athletes here, and I think she wants this university to be successful in everything we do. And I think obviously athletics, is sometimes the front porch for things that are going on at university, and hopefully we can help draw positive attention to what this university is. And I think I think it's been unreal what she's done in a short period of time. I mean, it's been phenomenal. She's everywhere. I mean, I said it to her last. I said, goodness gracious, she's all over the place. But I think that's her commitment to the students here and to this university and to athletics as well.
One of the largely unwritten stories this year has been, and you talked about Caleb O'Neal earlier, how many guys have, by need, stepped across and played different roles. Could you offer some comments on the job Devin Pewsley has done? This is a guy that's played in every single game since the program started. Could you just give some thoughts on him?
Yeah, he's done some really good things for us. Made the transition from D-line to offensive tackle, this year, which is a big transition, but has done really a good job of that. Battling being banged up and a lot of stuff this year as well. But it just tells you a little bit about our football team at times that hopefully guys will go do what's best for the team and not get caught up in their own feelings and what they want to do, and realize, hey, we can have success if we all believe in each other and what we're doing. So I think he's one. Caleb O'Neal's been another guy that stepped up. There's been a bunch of guys that just have been unselfish. At the end of the day, that's really what it's about. And I'm going to tell you what, that's tough. It's 2018, folks. That's not easy. It's not easy. And as I've told you guys before, we're all born inherently selfish. And we have to work to be unselfish. And that's just a fact. We're all that way, and we have to work at it. And it's something our culture and what we try to do here is to play for your teammates and what's best for the bigger picture, the vision, the goals of the team. And nobody's bigger than the team. And our guys really do a pretty good job of that. And there's been a lot of individuals that have taken that task as well.
Piggybacking the offensive line thing, this program you're playing against, Charleston Southern, has kind of historically had good defensive fronts, and no exception this year. It's Solomon Brown and Sosby, who's back there in the front seven also. Could you offer just a quick thought on the challenge they pose for your O-line?
Well, Solomon Brown's been there for a while. Johnny Robinson, the defensive tackle, is a really good player. They got good players. And I think at the end of the day, you hear about Darnell Holland, or you hear about Chandler Burks, or you hear about all those names, but, a lot of times the games are won and lost up front. And, both sides of the ball, you got to go win the line of scrimmage and win in the trenches. And they may not get their name in the paper, but usually they have a direct impact on having success, running the ball, throwing the ball, whatever it might be. And I don't think this game will be any different than any other game, Brian. Obviously we're going to have to go win up front on both sides of the ball to have an opportunity to be successful Saturday night.
Coach, these games the last couple of years have been chippy a little bit. Even with this week, their coach making a couple comments and our players knowing that there's been some chippiness at the end of the game, specifically a couple years ago, maybe a little bit last year. What do you have to tell our guys to, hey, maybe rein some of that in, and then also any thoughts on what their coach said?
No, what we do is control what we control, and we're going to focus on getting ready to go play today at practice. And those guys hear all that stuff. They know about it. I don't have to reiterate it a bunch. But at the end of the day, we got a conference game on the road, a place we have not had any success. We got to go prepare to be the best we can be on Saturday night. Place we haven't won, 28-7. 28-7. And so that is the goal. That is the task at hand. And, I always talk to our guys about not getting caught up in circumstances, not trying to win a press conference, we got to go prepare to be the best we can be on Saturday night. That's our goal, plain and simple. And that's it. And it started last week in practice, continued yesterday, continued today. And that's our goal, and that's what we'll do. And, one thing we've always tried to do here is do things with class and do things the right way. So no matter what happens, that's our goal for our program. To whatever happens, we want to do it the right way.
How do you manage a bye week? Just at this point of the season, obviously the rest is a critical element, but how do you manage it to keep them sharp without kind of overdoing it? And I know you said you gave them a couple extra days.
Yeah, I think it's a balance. you know, what we did was Sunday's always an off day for our guys. I gave them Monday and Tuesday off as well. We practiced Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and then we took Saturday and Sunday off. So I try to keep it around 2 days. I think once you get more than 2.5 days, it's getting to where it's probably, you know, you're going to have to do a lot more to get it back. So that's kind of the way we've done it in the past on open weeks or bye weeks during the regular season. That's the way we've handled it. And so we practiced Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and came back and really had a very good, energetic practice yesterday. I think the guys were a little refreshed. You know, they were probably looking forward to the weekend more than anything. Heck, I was too. We all need a little bit of a break. But that's the way we've done it. And, you know, everybody talks about getting ahead for the next opponent. Maybe a little bit, but truthfully, you know, where we are, we were 7 games into the season. It was more of a chance to regroup, catch your breath, re-energize. We know what we got ahead of us. You know what I mean? So I think it was more about that than it was anything. Obviously, try to get some guys healthy. But I was encouraged yesterday. They came back with a little pep in their step, which I was hopeful for, and hopefully we can build on that today.
Anything else?
Yeah, one last thing. Did you and the rest of the staff get out and watch a little high school football?
Absolutely, absolutely. We recruited Monday, Tuesday, and Friday. So that was really the priority, you know, for the week when we weren't practicing. Mostly Friday was mostly games, Friday night, but we were out Monday and Tuesday as well. So we spent 3 days of some capacity recruiting last week.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.